Hey, what's up guys? Max here. We're going to be making a video today talking about Negasonic Teenage Warhead and how to use her.
Negasonic Teenage. What the shit? That's the coolest name ever!
So guys, one of the things I want to talk about in Negasonic really quick, it's going to be her awaken ability. Does she require being awakened? If you get lucky with her as a 7-star, are you going to be missing out on being able to awaken her like towards the future, maybe when she gets added in or if you go all out for her, right? Or if she gets added in the Titan Crystal. Now, her awaken ability, for my personal opinion, I think it's very important. I don't think having her at Sig 200 as a 7-star is that important, but having her at least awaken as a 7-star is going to be important. Now, if you get her as a 6-star, yeah, take her to 200. There's two reasons, major reasons why I think the 6-star at 200, it's obviously more reasonable, but it's going to be helpful for her. That 3 incinerate you see there at the top, that is going to be super clutch when doing the most amount of damage with her. Most of her damage on every single final fight screen, it's like 50% incinerates, 50% incinerates. So the more you can apply, the better the outcome, of course, on using her offensively. Now on defense, she starts with 100% a bar of power. So on defense, interesting, this Battleground season, week 3, defenders are going to start with already 1 bar of power. I'm interested in seeing how top notch, if that's going to correlate with her. So she starts with 1, the node starts with another. Does that mean 2 bars of power, or are they going to cancel out and just be 1 bar of power? Also keeping in mind, if they do start with 2 bar, if they reach 2 bars of power, every attack, I believe, is like 200% more damage, or an additional bonus on the attack, basically. So she can potentially be a very big threat off defensively. Week 3 for Battlegrounds, currently on her launch, basically giving her very like strong defensive features, but naturally, I think we're not going to see that, of course, on a just normal day basis after this meta, if that's how it ends up working out. But going back to offensively features on her Sig ability, so one of the things is in her mechanics, she basically pauses the incinerates with her light attacks. Now, on the first bullet point, the personal incinerators are paused during her special attacks. Additionally, striker hits and counter attacks pause incinerate and incinerate vulnerability as if they were light attacks. So that's one of the reasons why I think even a 7-star awaken dupe is going to help, because the more pausing you have features wise on those incinerates, the better the outcome. Now on a 7-star, she's going to punch a little harder, but you still want to be able to take advantage as much of those incinerates. Now that's, like I said, pretty much incinerates when it comes to the fights. 50% of the damage comes from that. You do want to activate the incinerate vulnerability. That is very helpful to manage and increase the incinerate damage, but she's got a stack of 40, as you can see there. Every incinerate deals damage over 14 seconds. So in most cases, at least for Battlegrounds, I don't think you're going to reach 40. And when I talk about these champions, I talk a lot about Battlegrounds. Not all champions are going to be designed around Battlegrounds, and I get that. And probably most champions that are not designed around Battlegrounds might not really cover, because there's not much interest, at least from me and from the few players that I talk about when it comes to these champions. So this is huge when it comes to all attack. This is why you can get her in your team, is because with the skill champions, most of them, just the way this is put together really helps her offensively. So utilizes burst energy on Negasonics, attacks deal energy damage and do not make contact. So that is already a huge benefit, a huge attractive factor to her when using her offensively. Medium attacks inflict incinerates if the opponent has fewer than 5 personal incinerates. Now this is interesting because at the beginning of the fights, you can only do 5 incinerates, and that is it. When I first started playing her, I was like, okay, that's the max I can get before I get to a special 2 or a special 1, because you can apply additional incinerates with those specials. But realistically, if you do a counterattack, meaning if you hold your heavy and you have her at 200, you can apply an additional 3. So at pretty much at the beginning of the fight, once you reach 5, you can literally go in and apply another 3, and then basically have 8 incinerates and just keep pausing those, launch a special 1. work your way to a special 2, kind of a situation when it comes to Negasonic. So super cool. And obviously we already knew the light attacks pause current active personal incinerates and the incinerate vulnerability for 1.5 seconds. Evade counters. So this is the one I was talking about. So she's got a 100% chance to evade opponent's counterattack, 15% chance to evade medium and light attacks that make contact, increased to 100% while charging a heavy attack. So that is kind of like the ideal 3 that I was talking about. You want to charge a heavy, it counters the opponent, and this goes on cooldown. Here we go. Yeah, 25 seconds, which I think it's a very long cooldown, but it's a very potent feature. So I wish the cooldown, one thing, if I were to change or tweak, or hopefully if I want to make her a little bit stronger, have that cooldown tick less. So that's a very long cooldown. I know defensively that can be annoying too. I haven't fought her in event quest yet. So this 15% chance of a medium and light attacks that make contact increased to 100 when charging heavy. So I want to know how that basically interacts. Or is she going to be evading like your combos? She's sneaky with that. So be on the lookout. Make sure she's not charging heavy. Is she going to be like heavy potent defender? Is going to want to charge heavy, so you attack into her and she evades it. So, and she stuns you too on top of that too. So very interesting mechanics that are built into this champion that can be really potent if Kabam kind of does something specific to this AI and how this champion works. So this basically cool feature that she has does go on cooldown once she launches it, but it goes on cooldown each time Negasonic is knocked down or inflicted with a power burn, power drain, or power locked effect. So each time the opponent lands a critical hit, including through block, 1.5 seconds is removed from the cooldown. So again, on defense, this is going to come back and back, especially if you have a high crit champ. She's not that strong when it comes to tankiness. I found her to be very weak in that department. So when using her offensively, like I said, I haven't fought her yet. Also, when fighting tech champions, precognition begins on a cooldown. So that already is a benefit. So if you're fighting her, obviously, hopefully you have a tech champion. It's just going to be a lot easier. You don't have to worry about any evades. Now, very quickly, like I said, reason why she's very opponent heavy to skill champions is because bleed, evade, and true effects suffer a negative 100% ability accuracy. Additional precondition does not go on cooldown from evading counterattack. So she can constantly evade. So heavy charge, basically, and apply. I wonder if that applies constant incinerates. We'll see if we get to test that. But heavy attacks be charged 5 seconds longer, which is very cool. Now, incinerates, how do you apply those incinerates besides the first heavy counter and the 5 mediums? Well, with the special 1 and the special 2. The special 2 applying the most incinerates, which gives her 16. So there's 16 dormant incinerates that you just have to smash the block button. Very easy to do. Actually, never had a difficulty doing it. I don't believe you will have either. It's a very easy feature to tap away. So let's get some gameplay going and see how she performs. So I had mentioned earlier that there is the mediums way to get those incinerates. Now, see here, you can start. I pretty much got 4 or 5 very easily. So what you want to do too is you want to let the AI launch a special. If Cyclops wants to do it, there we go. You pause them and then you hold heavy counter, and now we have 8 incinerates, and we can easily pause these. And then with the special 1, giving her basically 12, and then we go with the heavy. Ooh, I did not reach. So one thing about her heavy, she's got a decent reach on her heavy. And then keep in mind that applies a incinerate vulnerability. We go with the special 2. This is how we apply the other 16 with tapping, and then we go hold there. Now, one thing, I'm hitting light attacks right now. So it's pausing the incinerate, so that's another feature of her. The relic, if she's awakened, this is what I was saying, pauses the incinerate. And I was trying to hold the heavy there, but there we go. That's actually her defensive mechanic that just went into effect. That actually helped counter evade his medium attack or light attack. I think that was a medium attack. So those are just the ways to apply the incinerates. Special 1, special 2 when it comes to the incinerates on Cyclops. So very helpful again. And if you saw there the amount of damage, so we did, when it comes to offensively, it all majorly came from incinerates. So One more thing I want to showcase here, just how to play her. So obviously you want to go parry. You want to go medium, light, medium. You can sneak into heavy if you want to apply the incinerate vulnerabilities, but you have to be really, really fast. One thing I found out is that you can't be slow. So let me show you that, how that works. So if you get a parry, once you get a parry, if you get a parry, all right, there we go. So I got medium, light, medium, and then I got the incinerate vulnerability, which ends up applying with the heavy, but you have to be fast. And then here we're gonna go with the counter. We're gonna refresh those with a special one. Perfect. And then we're gonna go with another heavy to apply that incinerate vulnerability. Now we're at 12. And then we're just going to keep refreshing this. And if you want to get the most amount of incinerates, this is kind of a rotation you might want to consider. It's going straight to special 2. And then just tapping away, 16 taps. And boom, we have 28. And then just pause them. Just light attacks. Very easy to play, not complicated. And then we're going to hold heavy. See if he launches. Yes, he does. So keep in mind when she heavy counters, that also pauses the incinerate. So different ways, we're going to find different ways of playing her, but I think this one offensively is going to be a very nice one. Again, being very, very careful with the medium, light, medium, heavy. You have to be really fast. The AI can come out of the stun where you don't have that time to do that. So if you want to play it safer, you want to go medium, light, medium, or medium, medium, light to pause it, and then kind of start another combo. So there's different ways you can do that too as well. Now, one of the things I want to point out here too is one of her features is if she launches a special one through the block, you can still apply the pause. So we're gonna pause here, and what you want to do too, she's got this built-in feature. So we're gonna apply the incendiary vulnerability, let him launch his special one. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna launch. Oh no, we didn't. Okay, we'll work our way back to it. What I want to show you is basically launch my special one into his block, and typically the AI will launch an attack, right? But if you're fast enough, again, wouldn't recommend doing this. See, it didn't work there, and I'm gonna try again. This one is really tricky, and you have to be fast. And if you're not fast, I would not recommend doing this. Here we go. Let's hold heavy. Boom. You can literally heavy hold right after the special. So if the AI is not cooperating with you, and you want to be able to like I guess pause the incinerates and apply some, you want to you know what? Did it apply some? Let me try that again. So mainly pause the incinerate. So you want to pause the incinerate. You launch a special one into the block. And let me see. Let's just apply one, and let's see if it applies to. No, it just blocks. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. But sometimes the AI is not going to do anything after you literally do the special one into the block. So you're gonna be fine basically. But most of the times, if the AI will launch himself at you, now keep in mind you can't do this back to back. It's got that 25-second cooldown, which is what I'm waiting for it to come back there. And we are gonna launch a special one and hold heavy. Boom. So it takes a lot of practice. I've done this a few times, and even though I'm glad that the first time it didn't work out, because it's not as easy of a feature to be able to knock out when it comes to Negasonic and launching special one into the block. So overall, guys, I think those are my like tips on how to use her. And I'm wondering how she's going to perform off defensively in this meta. I'm thinking she's going to be really good. But that's just this meta. I think she's gonna be one of those champions you want to have in your deck for this next season coming up. A lot of offensive damage on the incinerates. Not that potent, not that crazy, not super OP of a champion, but very good to have. And I'm looking forward to seeing her do other fights, not just those skill champion fights. Even though there's a lot of skill annoying defenders out there, I'm looking forward to seeing her do the other one. So Be on the lookout for Negasonics on people's decks, for sure. Super excited. Let me know your thoughts on this champion, guys, but did want to make this video and put it together really quick for you guys, especially since I was looking into those little tricks and how to use her offensively. Take care, guys. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Hola. Gracias por comprar la versión en español de Warhead de Hasbro.
This whole time you were able to see everything we were doing in this room? Oh my god.